Hey, it's Clay, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol CEI. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like a few weeks worth of time, actually it's just the past few days broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like to this time frame. I think it does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price, and then makes mapping out levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. I did this analysis a couple weeks ago, especially when the big price movement was going on. But that's kind of the first point here. As far as all that big price movement, so you let me scrunch up the chart here a little bit, and you'll see what I mean. So yeah, I mean, the price made that huge move upwards. I mean, it was great trading action. It was a great move. But as far as that is concerned, yeah, that was a pump and dump. There wasn't any sort of true power behind it. Why do I say there wasn't any true power? Well, let's just use a little common sense. If there was true power, I think we'd all agree that, the price would at least be building a higher base relative to where it is right now, because where it is right now is essentially right back to where it all started. And again, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that go back to where they started, not exactly a sign of true power. So as far as that big movement is concerned, yeah, that was a fake move, pump and dump. And now the question really becomes, right, well, how do you measure the strength of the dump? How do you measure the strength of the bears? And the easiest way to really define that is just by monitoring the trend. And the trend of things is obviously down. But, how do you measure that? Well, a very simplistic way, and I guess pun intended, is to use the 50-period simple moving average right there, which is defined by that purple line there. And essentially moving averages act as trend lines. So as time goes by, that line is going to, quote-unquote, draw itself for you. Now, yes, it's technically speaking, terminology-wise, it's a moving average. But if you want to just picture that as a trend line, that's fine. In fact, I like to call moving averages trend lines for lazy people, because it'll draw itself for you. So as long as the price is down below that purple line, then yeah, the dump is still in full effect. The bears are still in full control. However you can best visualize that in your mind, that's what's going on. Now, from a trading perspective, don't get me wrong, there can be plenty of nice little dead cat bounces along the way where the price kind of works its way up, or then might roll itself back down, work its way up, like it's done a couple times here. I mean, actually, that's kind of a stretch. And yeah, this one really hasn't even had any, maybe a decent bounce right there, kind of. Yeah, this one's pretty rough right now. But my point that I'm trying to get across here is that there can be bounces, but if there are any bounces, just be very skeptical of the bounce, because you have to realize the overall context of things is occurring in a bearish trend. So be very leery of anything, and just make sure you factor that into your trade plan if you do decide to play any sort of bounce, because you got to realize that all bounces are pretty much fake bounces until proven innocent, and proven innocent is by getting up above that purple line and then staying up above it. So yeah, we'll see what happens with it, but at this point, essentially the chart is just a slow bleed downwards. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now, and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.